someone is leaving. Someone is terrified of being left behind. And one life-changing decision could change the future of an entire family forever. Just when it seemed that Carla Connor and Lisa Swain had finally found happiness after months of trauma, heartbreak, and chaos, another emotional storm is already gathering. Because Betsy Swain has been keeping a secret. A secret that could take her hundreds of miles away from Weatherfield. And when she finally reveals the truth, not everyone reacts the way she hoped. Welcome back to Coronation Street Update. If you love dramatic Corrie breakdowns, emotional theories, and all the biggest spoilers from Weatherfield, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a twist. Because this latest storyline isn't about murder. It isn't about revenge. It's about something that can be just as painful. Letting go. And for Lisa Swain, that may be the hardest battle she's ever faced. For a moment, everything seemed perfect. After years of loss, betrayal, and emotional devastation, Lisa and Carla finally reached a place that felt safe. A place that felt hopeful. They got married. They survived unimaginable challenges. They fought for their relationship when others tried to destroy it. And despite the darkness surrounding Theo Silverton's murder investigation, there was finally a sense that life could move forward. But happiness in Coronation Street never lasts for long. Because while Lisa was looking toward a brighter future, Betsy was secretly thinking about a completely different one. A future that might not include Weatherfield at all. And that's where this emotional story begins. What makes this revelation even more powerful is everything Betsy has already endured. This is a young woman who has experienced more heartbreak than many adults. She lost Mason. A devastating tragedy that left deep emotional scars. Then came the shocking discovery that her supposedly dead mother Becky was actually alive. A revelation that turned Betsy's entire world upside down. And as if that wasn't enough, Becky later attempted to rebuild her relationship with Lisa while creating absolute chaos around Carla. Old wounds reopened. Trust was shattered. Families were pushed to breaking point. Through all of it, Betsy somehow managed to keep moving forward. But perhaps all of those experiences have changed her. Perhaps they have forced her to grow up faster than anyone realized. Because now she's standing at a crossroads. And the choice she makes could define the rest of her life. But that's only the beginning. Because before Lisa knew anything about it, Betsy received an opportunity that most people only dream about. An opportunity that could transform her future forever. A prestigious offer. A chance to study at the London College of Fashion. A chance to leave Weatherfield. A chance to build something entirely her own. Suddenly the future looked bigger. Brighter. More exciting. But also far more complicated. Because dreams have consequences. And every opportunity comes with a price. Especially when it means leaving the people you love behind. At first Betsy kept the news close to her chest. Perhaps because she was excited. Perhaps because she was scared. Or perhaps because deep down she already knew how difficult the conversation would be. Instead she confided in Lauren. And while Lauren immediately saw the incredible opportunity in front of her friend, Betsy's emotions were far more conflicted. As she was excited. But she was also frightened. Because leaving isn't just about moving away. It's about saying goodbye. It's about change. It's about uncertainty. And suddenly the reality began to hit. Would she miss her friends? Would she miss her family? Would she regret leaving? Or would she regret staying? Questions like these can keep someone awake all night. And for Betsy they were only getting louder. Then things become even more emotional. Because Betsy decides to tell Dylan. And his reaction reveals something incredibly important. Instead of trying to stop her. Instead of making her feel guilty. He supports her. Completely. He tells her he'll visit. He tells her to follow her dreams. It's a touching moment. But it also creates a new question. Is Dylan being brave for Betsy's sake? Or is he secretly terrified that distance could destroy their relationship? Because long-distance relationships rarely come without challenges. Especially when you're young. Especially when everything around you is constantly changing. And that's where another layer of emotional tension begins to emerge. Because while Betsy is worrying about leaving Weatherfield, others are worrying about losing her. And nobody fears that possibility more than Lisa. But one detail changes everything. Betsy still hasn't told her mother. She delays the conversation. She worries. She overthinks. She imagines every possible reaction. And that alone speaks volumes. Because no matter how old children become, There are some conversations that never get easier, especially when they involve leaving home. Eventually the moment arrives. The truth can no longer stay hidden. And Betsy finally reveals the offer. What happens next is fascinating, because Carla and Lisa react in completely different ways. Carla immediately sees possibility, opportunity. Thank you. After spending decades in the fashion industry herself, she understands exactly how significant this offer really is. She sees ambition. She sees talent. She sees a young woman with a chance to achieve something extraordinary. And Carla wants Betsy to grab that opportunity with both hands. For Carla, the answer seems obvious. Why wouldn't Betsy go? Why wouldn't she chase her dreams? Why wouldn't she build the future she's always wanted? But Lisa sees something entirely different. And that's where the emotional conflict explodes. Because Lisa isn't seeing a fashion course. She isn't seeing a career opportunity. She's seeing distance. She's seeing absence. She's seeing the possibility of waking up every morning without her daughter nearby. And suddenly the excitement disappears, replaced by fear. Raw, powerful fear. The kind of fear every parent understands. Because no matter how old children become, parents never stop worrying. Parents never stop protecting. Parents never stop seeing the little child they once held in their arms. And for Lisa, Betsy is still that child. No matter what anyone else says. No matter how much time passes. No matter how grown up she appears. That's still her daughter. Her baby. And the thought of letting go feels unbearable. However, another problem is already emerging. Lisa tries to smile. He tries to be supportive. He says the right things. But underneath that smile, something else is happening. Something emotional. Something painful. Something heartbreaking. He's struggling. Because there's a huge difference between supporting someone's dream and being emotionally ready for it. Carla notices this immediately. She understands what's really happening. She sees the fear Lisa is trying to hide. And later she attempts to reassure her. London isn't that far away. It's only a train journey. They can afford accommodation. Betsy needs direction. She needs a challenge. She needs a future beyond the trouble and trauma she's already endured. From Carla's perspective, this opportunity could be exactly what Betsy needs. A fresh start. A new chapter. A chance to finally escape some of the shadows that have haunted her. But Lisa isn't convinced. Not yet. And her response may be one of the most emotional moments in the entire storyline. Because she admits something deeply vulnerable. Something painfully honest. She says that Betsy is still her baby. And they haven't been apart for 18 years. Think about that. 18 years. Countless memories. Countless moments. Countless experiences shared together. Now suddenly someone is asking her to let go. To trust. To step back. And emotionally, that's an incredibly difficult thing to do. Especially after everything they've survived. Especially after nearly losing each other. Especially after discovering how fragile life can be. But then Betsy makes her case. And her words reveal just how much she's matured. She reassures her mother. She explains that she's not disappearing. She's not moving to the other side of the world. She's not abandoning her family. She's simply taking a chance. A chance that may never come again. And perhaps that's the real emotional heart of this story. Not conflict. Not arguments. Not betrayal. But growth. The painful reality that people we love eventually need to build lives of their own. Even when it hurts. Even when we're not ready. Even when saying goodbye feels impossible. Yet one huge mystery remains. What will Betsy ultimately decide? Will excitement outweigh fear? Will opportunity outweigh loyalty? Will dreams outweigh comfort? Or will the emotional pull of family prove impossible to resist? Because despite everything that's been said, nothing is decided yet. And that uncertainty changes everything. The closer September gets, the harder the decision becomes. And the more emotional the consequences could be. For Betsy. For Lisa. For Carla. For Dylan. For everyone connected to her. Because one decision doesn't just affect one person. It creates ripples. It changes relationships. Changes routines. It changes futures. And sometimes the hardest choices are the ones that offer the brightest possibilities. But if one thing is becoming clear, Betsy Swain is standing at one of the most important crossroads of her life. A future in London is calling. A new adventure is waiting. A dream is within reach. Yet behind her stands a family that desperately doesn't want to let her go. And when the final decision is made, someone's heart may be broken. The opportunity is real. The emotions are real. The fear is real. But what happens next may change the Connor Swain family forever. And when that answer finally arrives, Weatherfield may never feel quite the same again.